Welcome to the very last stop before we go into the void. This is PCW Ultra Mutiny. Mike Simmons here to get you all caught up for tonight's fall finale, Into the Void. Catch all the action live tonight exclusively at the PCW Ultratorium, 231 West C Street in Wilmington, California. Bell times at 8:30, doors open an hour before, but the action starts earlier with the Platinum ticket holder meet and greet at 5:30. Online ticket sales have closed, but a limited number of walk-up tickets will be available at the door, so make sure you get there early. We'll run down the card in a moment, but the brutal rivalry between War Beast and Outlaws Inc. continues in two huge matches at Into the Void. Let's take a look at the turf war between four of the most sadistic men in wrestling today.
Let's keep it real, War Beast. I don't care about Defy, about MLW. I don't care about any promotion you've been part of. Only reason why y'all are surviving is because those places are scared to book me in Homicide. So get ready, man. We're about to bring that New York yeah? I'm talking about Timberlands and stabbing people in the face, man. Get at me. Yeah.
It ain't no secret you're the toughest son of a bitches that ever fought us in this building. But I tell you what, you want to play with chains? Hey, Homicide, me and you, right here, October 18th, dog collar match.
You think this little cut's gonna offend me? Wall Beast, you got a wall.
You ain't.
You got a wall.
You ain't. That's when you chain your neck to my neck, and we beat the shit out of each other till one man's left standing.
This is only a taste. This is only a taste. I want more.
How about the Rottweiler against the Samoan werewolf in an I Quit match? You're gonna have to kill me before you take those belts out of mine and Fatu's hands.
Yeah, you wanna collect tag belts? You marks. You wanna collect tag belts? Every company you're in. Let me tell you something. We talk about revenge. I learned about revenge. When you go for revenge, you dig two graves. I've been waiting to die since 17.
And then we'll see, one-on-one, what's really up.
Go for revenge. Come, I can carry that weight.
To get you ready for tonight, we're going to take a look back to when Josef Samael faced the extreme icon, the Sandman, at Refuse to Lose. On the call, as always, the voices of PCW Ultra, Todd Kennelly, Christian Cole.
We have everything from the high flyers to the light heavyweight division, from the incredible heavyweights to the hardcore, all violence is legal nature of the Sandman, and of course his opponent tonight, Josef the Midnight Sun. And you'll recall that it was Josef that really opened up Terry Funk to use that spike. And now Sandman, he smoked that whole cigarette. One hardcore icon out to defend the honor of another. I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing. He was just trying to finish his cigarette before he came into the ring. You gotta love Sandman.
This is surreal, man. It truly is.
You said it, man.
Representing War Beast,
You can see the heat coming off the fire-breathing Carlita Gore, followed by MK, Kevin Sullivan, and now you see the man, one half are the tag team champions, or a third, depending on how you look at it. Josef, the Midnight Sun, has arrived in the PCW arena.
Josef, in the early days of PCW Ultra, boy, we should have listened more intently. He offered the ominous words back then that he's bringing war to PCW. My goodness, has he ever done that? He was the one that sought out the guidance. He was the one that unearthed the devil. Kevin Sullivan brought him back. Now you also see MK out there. You talked about the legal aspect. You got Carlina Gore, that seductress that will lure men to their demise.
Carlina Gore breathes fire, and she tends to get involved in these matches, and when she does damage, it is serious. To have a beautiful woman on the outside like that.
And there you see
look, Sandman's smart, going right after Gore.
I talked about it. Carlina Gore, she's the bait. She lures you in, and that allows Josef to get the advantage. Josef brought not only the tag team title out here, some sort of chain.
And all violence is legal here, Todd Kennelly.
Sullivan's got the Singapore cane.
Sullivan already stretching the rules.
All violence is legal.
It is true, yeah. And
much as I hate to admit it.
It's almost like Sandman needed a partner or a friend to accompany him to the ring, because he's in for some shit here. Oh, wow. God.
And Josef just absolutely laying one into the Sandman. Little throwback to his legendary entrance, but not the way the Sandman wants. As Josef now goes to work, sending the Sandman over. There's no Masada here tonight for the Sandman.
No.
There is no
Terry
Funk. He is a man on an island. He's in, I don't usually use this type of language on a broadcast. He's in deep shit.
He is in deep shit. And as we look now at a trash can as the nacho cheese flies everywhere, and this is vintage Sandman, as he's going to do whatever it takes to just maim his opponents. Look at that big left hand right on the forehead.
Sandman, not a 5-time ECW champion for nothing, and now he's right here in PCFNW. Josef now with a chair.
We have to take a moment, to recognize the parallels between the former ECW of the 1990s and this great company, now nearly 2 years old here at PCW Ultra. And to bring in guys like Sandman, Masada. Earlier tonight, we made a massive announcement coming up in January. You want to tell the fans watching on the broadcast?
Well, hold on here. The Sandman suplexing a table onto Josef.
I'll do it. The Great Muta.
The Great Muta's coming.
The Great Muta's coming.
You're darn right he is.
There's nothing like this experience here at PCW Ultra. As you can see that Boone the Bounty Hunter flyer right in the back. Now available on DVD and on demand.
John Hennigan will be in competition next with the heavyweight title on the line.
How many middle fingers have we seen tonight?
Boone the Bounty Hunter likes to jump off of buildings and such to take down perpetrators. We might see that here in this one from the Sandman. He is all kinds of amped up here, and he is making Josef pay the price.
Fans handing him chairs. He's now choking him with some purse. Some lady's purse is now... It's hard to see from our vantage point, but he seems to be choking out the Midnight Sun, Josef.
A wicked shot there by Josef. And we've seen this from Josef from day one here in PCW. His early wars with MVP. He bloodied a young Douglas James.
And of course, we watched Josef, formerly known as the Sheik, here in PCW grow over the last couple years. I mean, has the stress from being the leader of War Beast weathered him? You can see more gray hairs on his beard. Have these fights with Sandman, with Terry Funk and the like.
Are you kidding me? You're telling me that they've aged him? They've shortened the careers and lives of everybody that's gotten in their path.
But that's not what matters to Josef. That's not what matters to MK or Kevin Sullivan.
Right.
All they want to do is maim and hurt everyone. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Somewhere, if anybody could do it, he can. Sandman found a way to find a steel chair in the mix here. And surprisingly enough, this one has gone back into the ring.
Yeah, they're back in there now.
I would have lost money on that. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the
Oh, right
offense.
to the dome piece. And what's Sullivan doing? And he
yeah.
took one.
Sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Nothing PC about the Sandman.
Carlito Gore.
Oh,
What was that?
the fireball. Off the distraction.
Oh my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, Josef!
Again, the distraction, the numbers game, Christian Cole. Just when it looked like Sandman had everything going his way, Sullivan gets involved, Carlina Gore, and then after the distraction, Sandman turns around right into a fireball by Josef, allowing him to get the 1-2-3.
Sandman could be seriously hurt here. You can see a lot of pain on his face. And apparently there's a whale in there to help him out.
Will you take this seriously? I mean, give me a break. The guy, he might fire right in his face. Sandman doesn't want any help.
Why would he? Been doing this for 20 years. You think it's the first time he's got hit with a fireball? Obviously in a ton of pain right now, but the Sandman is a prideful dude. Able to put a little bit of water there on the injury.
You gotta respect the heart and the guts of Sandman, but as we talked about, a man on an island here, and impossible to contend with that monster that is War Beast when you stand alone.
Impossible is right. You can see Sandman now rinsing out the eyes after that vicious fireball from the Midnight Sun, Josef.
Although if you hear the PCW Ultra faithful, Sandman is anything but alone. He's captivated the masses
Great point.
for years and years.
And look at that, right back to the beer. I'm kind of hoping he comes and pours one into my mouth, having to sit next to your ass all night.
Kidding me? You sound like you've been drinking some liquid courage.
I actually have. Look at that.
Wow.
Not a drip.
Oh, yeah.
Missed.
That was the thing of beauty.
All the
right there.
drips
And
down the gully.
That was just a taste of the kind of brutality Josef and Fatu can and will dish out tonight in their matches against Homicide and Eddie Kingston, Outlaws Inc. Still to come in our main event, we'll take you back to the heavyweight hoss fight between Hammerstone and Jeff Cobb. But coming up next, Jake Atlas battles Chris Bay, Eli Everfly, and Marko Stunt in four-way action. Mutiny rolls on right after this.
In Japan, we have embraced many things from the West. We honor them. We celebrate them. And master them. In return, we offer something for you to enjoy. Sapporo, Japan's oldest beer brand, now brewed and enjoyed around the world. And our way of saying,
Arigato.
It's almost time. Into the Void comes to you tonight, live at the PCW Ultratorium in Wilmington, California. 9 huge matches on the card, including this clash for the Ultra Championship. Mil Muertes, Savio Vega, 2 Puerto Rican legends compete for one of the most prestigious championships in all of wrestling. And speaking of the Ultra Championship, the winner of this house fight gets a title shot at Anniversary 2020. Shaft and Hammerstone write another chapter in their feud tonight, this time with huge title implications. The Lucha Brothers make their return to PCW Ultra as they take on the Australian brother tandem, the Natural Classics, in an international tag team attraction. The bad blood between these four men runs deep. Josef Samael laid out the challenge. He squares off against Homicide in a dog collar match. And who knows the kind of violence we'll see from the Rottweiler and the Samoan Werewolf as Fatu battles Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match. Zeta Zhang sustained an injury and has been declared inactive for Into the Void. Sumi Sakai will defend her PCW Ultra Woman Championship tonight, but who will she face? You gotta be there live to find out. We've scoured up and down the West Coast to bring you some of the best young talent there is for the return of Young Guns. Cody Chun, Matt Vandegrift, Damian Drake, Christopher Landon Anthony Streeter, Ty Ray, and Dom Kubrick compete in a 6-man scramble match, and then a live interactive fan vote decides which emerging star moves on to Anniversary 2020. Just announced a few moments ago, the match between Douglas James and Brian Pillman Jr. is now a #1 contendership match for the Ultralight title. The winner of this simmering rivalry gets a shot at either superstar Jake Atlas or El Jefe, the boss of Lucha Libre, Daga. With the reign currently at 273 days, Atlas has already cemented himself as one of the great champions in this storied division. If he gets through Daga tonight, he will supplant Douglas James as the longest reigning ultralight champion in PCW Ultra history. But Daga is riding an incredible wave of momentum that could culminate in championship gold. Either way, history will be made tonight in this matchup.
I want your best. I want the best. I don't want you to think that because I'm less experienced or because I've been in PCW Ultra the least amount of time, I'm still a threat, and I'm still the champion. Anyone who's been put in front of me has stood that test of time. So when someone steps up and someone wins a contendership, or they bring them in and they say, Jake, this is who you are wrestling tonight, I want them to see me as their counterpart, and I want them to give me the best.
Jake, pon atención.
Looking to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat.
Oh! You might get your wish, Jake. Will he be the #1 contender?
Disfruta tu cinturón, disfruta tu campeonato. Octubre 18, Daga se va a convertir en un nuevo campeón.
The road to Atlas becoming champion began with this classic 4-way dance between him, Chris Bay, Eli Everfly, and Marko Stunt.
Eli Everfly, the winner of the first ever Young Guns event, which he's been on the SoCal scene for a long time, but put him on the map here in PCW Ultra, teamed with Sami Callihan and OVE at one point. He's got victories over the likes of Chris Bay in a match between the Young Guns winner, but now a shot potentially down the line at the Ultra Light Heavyweight title. High stakes fatal 4-way to kick things off at Possessed.
Really digging Eli Everfly's in-ring coders, his entrance jacket. It's that long duster. Dude's got style on top of his crazy death-defying maneuvers.
Breaking down the style, Christian. Maybe, you do the red carpet as everybody arrives here at the Ultratorium.
Maybe you would. Maybe you'd be the limo driver. If you look at his knees too long, you'll actually start to get dizzy.
And our second participant makes his way to the ring from the Bay Area, AVA. Weighs 172 pounds. He is the ultimate finesser, Chris Bay.
And I am so excited, Todd Kennelly, that Chris Bay is back at PCW Ultra. As you see that swag and that coolness that this dude comes in, he is the ultimate finesser of PCW Ultra. We're excited to have him back. He flies with the best of them, just like Eli Everfly. This guy right here can do it all.
Eli Everfly, as I mentioned, won the first Young Guns event. This man won the second. Then they would go toe-to-toe here in PCW Ultra. So no strangers to one another. Fitting they'd be the two first to enter this one. But man, what a year it's been for Chris Bey. Just a meteoric rise, and this a huge golden opportunity for the Ultimate Finesser.
There's a reason Chris Bey has risen to the top of this industry in these independent scenes in Arizona, Nevada, California. It's because he's earned it. The guy's got a social media presence unlike anybody. The guy really does it right, promotes himself, and then proves it in the ring and backs it up. Whatever you do, Todd, don't touch his bag either. Chris Bey's got this beautiful bag. It's not for you.
Our third participant, he makes his way to the ring from Olive Branch, Mississippi. He weighs in at not very much. Mr. Fun Size, Marko Stunt!
Now around Halloween time, I generally don't like to hear the term fun size. I always hated trick-or-treating. You get those tiny candy bars, those quote-unquote fun-size candy bars. Those aren't fun size.
What the hell's going on here, Todd? Who let their son in here, and why isn't he participating in the costume contest? Security needs to pull this man out of the ring, this little boy out of the ring.
I think Marko Stunt, only the second smallest competitor in PCW Ultra history, right behind Swoggle. But all jokes aside, this kid can go. What a buzz around Marko Stunt. Great to have him here.
Yeah, he's over like Rover because he's 7 and he's really good at wrestling. You're 50 and you're still not good at commentary.
41. Don't need you to spot me those 9 years. One more piece of the puzzle.
Our fourth and final participant, he makes his way to the ring from El Monte, California. Weighs 200 pounds, superstar Jake Atlas.
There's one thing I can tell you about El Monte, it's that it's complete garbage. El Monte, the city, there couldn't be a worse city in Southern California. I'm sure SCU wouldn't like it. It is almost the worst town in America. But if there's one thing that's come out of El Monte that's great, it's Jake Atlas.
Jake Atlas, a phenomenal competitor, along with Marko Stunt, the only competitors that have not gained a PCW Ultra win, but he has had some phenomenal matches, has Atlas. He was involved in that first ever Young Guns event as well. Proud member of the LGBT community, a whole lot of pride. And again, we have to mention here, folks, that the winner of this matchup, the first person to score a pinfall or submission, will be the #1 contender to the Ultra Light Heavyweight Championship. So championship implications to kick things off here at Possessed.
You feel how palpable this tension in the room is. These 4 men want to prove themselves to potentially get themselves into a spot where they could be championship worthy here in this company. In the near 3 years that PCW Ultra has been taking over the professional wrestling industry, these 4 men have come along with us. As Todd Kennelly referred to earlier, Young Guns winners are in the ring. Marko Stunt, a dude who's been seen on national television in recent months. Double pin. Chris Marshall deciding to look at the shoulders of only 2 of the guys there.
Trying to make it a sprint, not a marathon, and why not? You get the pin, you get out of there with low mileage, and you go in fresh down the line as a cover again, jackknife cover, there by Eli Everfly. All 4 looking for the drop kick. Now the kip up. Well, didn't quite get it done there for Bey.
Chris Bey's got a good sense of humor. He knows what happened. He's kind of getting a kick out of it.
He is the ultimate finesser, so both and all 4 competitors now at this point back to square one. A whole lot of moving parts in this one, Christian. As it is often said in a match like this, you got to have your head on a swivel. I don't know if the heads are going to be still on the bodies of those 2. Now Bey going upstairs with an enziguri. Back brain kick that fighter Hayabusa would be proud of, and now the Hurricane Rana, look out here. Look at this momentum, round and round he goes, where he stops, only the fly knows.
Eli Everfly with the agility of a housefly, so fast, unable to hit him, elusive and able to counter any man.
Eli Everfly, though, he certainly has a longer lifespan than a housefly. He's got tons of endurance as well, well-conditioned. And man, what a dream match this is. These two, don't blink, you might miss something. Marko Stunt in there with Eli Everfly. This should be a spectacle. Going for the cover, using the weight. Oh my goodness, was that ever close?
Tried to sneak in a cover, did Marko Stunt. An opportunist is the young man. His 8th birthday is next Friday.
Give me a break.
Look at Eli Everfly.
He's trying to look for way more gold, is Marko Stunt, than some tokens at Chuck E. Cheese. I'll tell you that, looking for a shot at the gold.
Really interesting, Todd, to watch these two men go at it as they parallel one another, really. Marko Stunt and Eli Everfly, 2 different coasts.
I'm just shocked you would refer to Marko Stunt as a man.
Did I say that? I'm sorry. The young baby Marko Stunt, infant newborn baby Marko Stunt.
Mr. Fun Size. And now an opportunity again. Every time you're isolated with one of your 3 opponents in there, you gotta try and take advantage. Try and get a quick win and get out of there. And the winner of this thing will have a date with Destiny down the line for the light heavyweight championship, which will be up for grabs later on between Shane Strickland, the champion, and Darby Allin, the challenger, and Bray doing a little styling and profiling.
Chris Bray with an arm drag, fundamental, and able to kick up that time. Chris Bray showing his athleticism and his ability to move and maneuver. So quick is Chris Bray, but here Jake Atlas goes for a beautiful, innovative arm drag there.
Wow, look at this. Momentum off the top, incredible. So nimble is Jake Atlas, and he really has the total package, does Atlas, because he's a great striker as well. To his agile nature, he can really do it all. And Chris Bray finding that out the hard way. A real showcase right here of 2 of Southern California's best. What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Look at Chris Bray milli-whopping that ultimate finesser. The guy can really move, and in for that innovative cover. Beautiful roll up there.
Oh, switch the weight back the other way. And both competitors there looking for the victory. The fly back in as well as Stunt. And now this is how we started things off. Right back to Eli Everfly and Marko Stunt. Man, nice shot there. Tell you one thing about Marko Stunt. He'd be hard to hit. He's got a very low strike zone. Got caught there on the suicide dive attempt.
Ooh, look at that right hand on the outside. Not in the ring within the view of the referee, Chris Marshall, but able to drop that right fist to the face is Jake Atlas, and he'll take his ovation for that.
Jake Atlas very proud of that shot, pointing to his mental acumen. Look out here though, Stunt off the top, big dive to the outside, takes down Atlas. And again, you gotta be careful with high risk because now you're on the outside looking in, and if a pin would be to happen or a submission, this thing's over.
That's a great point. Chris Bray starting to realize exactly what TK was just talking about. As Chris Bray knows that he needs to get one of these guys in the ring. Will he try to assault them first? Chris Bray thought better of that.
Oh my goodness, whoa! Sliced bread number 2 over the top, and they all come crashing down.
All 4 men's bodies strewn out on the cold cement here in the Ultratorium. The fans showing some appreciation, and it looks like Bray may have taken the worst of that. Eli the first up to his feet.
What a move, coming over the top. Have you ever seen a sliced bread number 2 executed quite like that? Everfly now out of the wheelbarrow position, comes up with a nice takedown there on Jake Atlas. The pace quickens. I gotta think that favors the fly.
Eli Everfly sure does do well in this circumstance here. Goes in for the cover, outside leg, but Bray breaks it up brilliantly. Chris Bray knows if Eli covers Jake Atlas, this match is over, and Chris Bray ends up in the losing column.
Sliced bread number 2 or Salida del Sol, call it what you will, call it effective. That has been a popular go-to thus far in this matchup. Man, what a pace these 4 are keeping. Big shot there by the ultimate finesser. No finesse there. That was a wide open shot.
Exactly right. Forearm dropping right on the kisser of Eli. That's twice now in a row. And Bay's in firm control. This is Las Vegas versus Los Angeles right here, these 2 men. And Bay repping it for Nevada. Goes in for the cover. Lateral press, but only 2. And Bay, he has such a passionate about himself, Todd. I mean, passionate element about himself. He's always ready to wrestle. He loves entertaining the fans, but he's a competitor.
Sure is, and that was a nice wrinkle in the offense there, Chris Bay. He usually goes for that triple C's, that crazy Chris Cutter, but into a neck breaker moments ago. Marko Stunt back in. And I'm telling you, man, Marko Stunt, he's elusive. He's hard to hit because he's got that small strike zone off the back into the DDT, deep hook of the leg. Boy, and what a win that would be for Mr. Fun Size in his PCW Ultra debut.
And what a great shot from our production staff as you saw Eli Everfly's head spike directly in the mat from that jumping innovative tornado, or DDT rather, from Marko Stunt. Incredible action now.
Hard to keep up with all the action in this one, partner. Marko Stunt feeling the effects. You saw him clutching that lower lumbar region. I don't know if he's got the power to take Jake Atlas off the top with a superplex. We may never know now, however, as Bay taking over this precarious position.
Jake Atlas is in a really bad spot here, and it seems as Everfly and Chris Bay are coming together in perhaps a tag team maneuver here.
Marko Stunt checking in now. What in the world's he got in mind? Oh, does he have the power to do this?
There's no 6-year-old boy that could do this.
Indiana Jones is on standby waiting for the temple, or in this case, the Tower of Doom. Oh, he's trying to pump himself up as Marko Stunt.
Look at Stunt now.
Little something
extra. No way, he got it.
Superplex, double power bomb. And the stock is way up for Marko Stunt. He can take his pick, partner, pin one of the 3 opponents.
And that was the first ever Tower of Doom performed by somebody under the age of 9 years old. Incredible by Marko Stunt.
Well, we're all about making history here in PCW Ultra, that's for sure.
Someone get Guinness on the phone.
I prefer the stout to the book.
I'll take the stout as well.
To the book of records. Marko Stunt now unloading, and this might be throwing rocks at a man with a machine gun, because we talked about what a great striker Atlas is. Too much power there. And when back meets turnbuckle, turnbuckle's going to win every time.
Yeah, those pads, not much support for the kind of collision that Marko Stunt just ran into, and now massive jumping knee from Jake Atlas, who shows that he can strike with anybody. Look at Atlas roll now. Atlas got his head. Beautiful head scissors takedown by Jake Atlas. And Jake Atlas is showing up here tonight.
Double your pleasure, double your fun, because basically used Chris Bay as a projectile weapon to take out Marko Stunt as well. Killing 2 birds. Atlas now firing.
Waited too long.
Boy, what a matchup. The advantage has switched countless times. All 4 men bringing their A game here. And again, we're just getting started. And if you're Shane Strickland or Darby Allin, look at what's coming your way down the line. One of these great competitors. Neck breaker there by Bay, beautifully executed, but Atlas out of harm's way. Bay could not secure a cover.
Bay smart enough to catch Eli there, and back and forth these 2 will go. I mean, 2 of the best in this
my
region.
Goodness! Spanish Fly out of the corner might have absolutely spiked him, and that was close.
Yeah, that Spanish Fly was so low in flight that Chris Bay's head seemed to hit the canvas really hard there. He doesn't seem to know where he is now.
Yeah, alert air traffic control at LAX. Tell him flying a bit low. And now Eli Everfly going to work. And again, he's dangerous from that top turnbuckle position. We've seen that vicious fly's wings that he's hit. When he gets that butterfly lock, comes off the top. We'll see if he's got that in mind. Not in position at the moment for it. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at the power by Atlas!
My goodness! Jake Atlas showing up, showing out. Can he get 3? No!
Heads up move there by Marko Stunt, making Atlas do the heavy lifting, the hard work.
Look at Jake Atlas, but Marko Stunt with an incredible counter. Codebreaker from Stunt.
He calls that the mark out, but Jake Atlas able to kick out, unreal.
Marko Stunt, who was in massive trouble getting tossed around like a beanbag, able to come back and counter Jake Atlas and almost gets the victory.
Halloween time, and these 4 competitors have tricks galore, and this match is one hell of a treat for the PCW Ultra faithful. What action.
Marko Stunt is going up to that top corner, Todd, and that height is almost 2 times the size of Marko as he stands on the canvas. Dangerous area. It's almost like Jake did a favor for him, a couple birds by getting him down from there.
Atlas is really using the power game to his advantage in this thing. Look out here. The makings of perhaps a doomsday device, but no!
Oh my God!
Into a flip pile driver. I thought it was gonna maybe be a sunset flip bomb, but turned it into a Canadian destroyer. Atlas going for the cover, and Bray comes in to make the save, and this match continues.
And this is child abuse, the way they're treating Marko Stunt. Someone should press charges against these 3 men. Take it easy on the young man.
Uh-oh, look out here, a little rockabye. Bray!
Oh my God, a jumping tombstone from Chris
Rest
Bray.
in peace. No, not yet. Atlas makes the save.
Chris Bray reinventing the tombstone and eats a face full of boot for his efforts.
Almost planted him 6 feet under, but not yet. I was about to say that Atlas at this point seems to be the freshest of the 4, but apparently Chris Bray didn't get the memo.
Oh, look at this, Todd. Chris Bray got caught.
The ultimate finesser, though, finds his way out of there. Beautiful counter. Couldn't counter that huge strike. A multi-dimensional weapon here, and look out there! LGBDDT on the money! Atlas gets his first win!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and #1 contender to the PCW Light Heavyweight Championship, Superstar Jake Atlas!
That LGBDDT is as innovative of a DDT as I've ever seen, Todd. Able to spring with his hands off the top rope, get that front chancery and slam his opponent's head down onto the mat. Jake Atlas proves himself here tonight over and over and ends up the winner too. He's the #1 contender.
First victory, and my oh my, did he pick a good time to do it. The #1 contender to the Ultra Light Heavyweight Championship. He's got a lot of pride. You might say he's got ultra pride tonight. Jake Atlas gets it done. Well, somebody came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and they're all out of bubble gum. I don't even have my glasses on, and I can see that there's aliens afoot here.
Why is Hammerstone walking out right now, Todd?
That's a good question. The effing business was once featured. Oh, no, 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 no.
What the hell's Hammerstone doing? I don't think Marko Stunt knows the danger looming behind him.
Yeah, don't turn around, kid. You're not going to like the view. This isn't Haddonfield, but he's getting stopped as if Michael Myers is right behind him.
Look at Hammer effortlessly lifting the young boy into the air.
Talking about stunts, it looks like Marko was on wires there, on special effects wires.
Hammer's going to spare the life of this young child, and no,
not so fast. Oh, I think you want to talk about Guinness World Records. I think that's what Hammer's looking for. He's going to be throwing for distance here, Christian Cole.
This is an Olympic sport.
Say goodbye.
Oh my God, in the 8th row.
Hammer claims to be the creamiest of them all, might be the most sadistic as well.
We want to send a huge shout out to the band Odd Palace for The Unknown, which is the anthem of PCW Ultra Mutiny. It's available on Apple Music, Spotify, and streaming outlets everywhere. Next week on Mutiny, we take you back to Possessed for a pair of matches from PCW Ultra's extensive library. Warbeast takes on the team of Sin Bodhi and Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer, Abyss. We'll also see the King of Swerve, Shane Strickland, defend the Ultralight Championship against Darby Allin. It is a loaded Halloween-themed edition of Mutiny next week. Before we go, we're going to take a special look at the rivalry between Shaft and the returning Hammerstone. But first, back at May the 4th, Jeff Cobb and Hammerstone collided in another PCW Classic Hoss fight.
Stage is set for this one that looks like something right out of ancient mythology. It's as if you took the Hawaiian fire god and put him against Hercules up on Mount Olympus. Two just mythological warriors about to do battle here, but this is real life. And here we go, the tension here. Two big, bad bulls about to lock horns. Cannot wait for this.
Cobb extending a right hand and perhaps looking for some sportsmanship to get this match started. Apparently not. And you don't want to do that to Hammer. Hammer will knock you sideways. Look at how Hammer controlling that collar and elbow tie-up so far, pushing Jeff Cobb back. That marks the spot.
Apparently both competitors have two words for the other. But two incredible competitors that are well-traveled. Both have wrestled over in Japan in the land of the rising sun. And now right back here into PCW Ultra, but again, just the absolute hot streak that Hammerstone has had. All right, imitation continues to be the sincerest form of flattery, apparently.
A lot of talk about Hammerstone being similar to another talent in this industry known as Many H's. Jeff Cobb making fun of him, and Hammer's done. And good for him. He should leave. What is this?
I don't think Hammer's going to be outdone.
Oh my God, that was the coolest thing ever. This is why your boy Hammer is the coolest guy in wrestling. He poured that fan's beer on the floor. That was like $9 just down the trash. Your boy Hammer's not trying to deal with that.
Yeah, the premium prices here in the Ultratorium. And a whole lot of attitude here by both. The fans not liking it, but Hammer couldn't care less. I asked Hammerstone after he defeated Brian Cage, utilizing the pedigree after teasing it time and time again. I asked him, were you giving the fans what they want, or were you sending a message? He said neither. I was looking for the victory.
A massive slam there by Jeff Cobb, and Jeff Cobb now controlling the head and neck of Hammer. A tough spot for Hammer when you have that massive Hawaiian on your back, controlling you, keeping you grounded. But look at Hammer, able to roll and counter.
Yeah, but you can't grapple with an Olympian. Easily sits out and reverses position there, and now going for the ride is the powerful Polynesian, Jeff Cobb. This is not where Hammerstone wants to be, Christian.
I'm sure it's where Jeff Cobb wants to be, though. In there with a superstar like Hammer. Your boy Hammer making waves all over the world. Jeff Cobb is honored, I'm sure, to be wrestling
look
this
at
guy.
this. Beautiful amateur takedown right into a pinning combination. You talk about making waves. Jeff Cobb will crash down on you like a wave on the north shore of Oahu.
It's a great reference as we watch the Hawaiian Islands under siege with the volcanic eruption recently. We wish everybody there the best, including the family of Cobb and relatives of Jeff Cobb. But tonight, he's in there with another type of danger, and that's this massive, jacked up dude named Hammer.
Now we've seen Hammerstone in the past so effective with striking as well. You think of the Valkyrie missile. Do you think he tries to stay outside, use reach, and stay out of the grasp of the Olympic grappler?
No, that's a stupid analysis. The fact is that Hammer's gonna stick in there and go blow for blow. And look at this, and see that collision. That's all Hammer right there. And the cojones for Hammer to run in on a guy like Jeff Cobb and control him this way. It goes to show how fierce Hammer is in that ring. It's almost as if the intensity takes over his body and mind.
Just saying, Hammer might want to use that reach and stay on the outside. If he happens to go for the Nightmare Pendulum or the Stonebreaker, you put yourself in a position for Cobb to reverse. But Cobb right now is getting rocked, and he had rubbery legs there as Hammerstone now, boy, this is a very deliberate Hammerstone.
It is. But I want to talk about Hammer and how, quite frankly, you talked about ACH being undefeated earlier. Hammer, very similar. Hammer coming off several victories. He was able to beat Brody King. Have you ever beat Brody King?
I would not dare try, and yeah, beating Brody King again with War Beast around the outside. Look at this. Pump handle suplex by Hammerstone, trying to beat Cobb at his own game. Cobb just sprints back up. No, sir, not today.
It seems that Jeff Cobb didn't feel the effects of that suplex. It comes right back in with a throat jab. And look at the power of Jeff Cobb.
Incredible release suplex throw there that sends Hammerstone all the way into the corner. Hammerstone not too accustomed to getting thrown around like that.
We want to thank all of our fans at home watching on the Fight app live or on Amazon Prime. PCW Ultra is taking over this world. We're here in Wilmington. If you don't get down here for one of these shows, you are missing out. To watch superstars like this collide in this ring, you can see the sweat blasting off the chest of Hammer.
And I've oftentimes referred to PCW Ultra as the full spectrum of professional wrestling, and we've seen that thus far. Two great fast-paced light heavyweight bouts, and now two big monsters. I mean, this thing looks like it should happen on the streets of Tokyo. It can do some serious damage.
That's a Godzilla reference, is that correct?
Sure was.
Fantastic. Jeff Cobb able to get good elevation there for that drop kick. Hammer losing his wits. Up on that corner, top rope. Oh God, look at Cobb now. Will he attempt a superplex from here?
I think the answer is a resounding yes. We'll see if he can get Hammer up. Oh, look at the strength. He's holding Hammerstone in midair. Suspended vertical suplex. My goodness.
We told you before this match started that we were going to witness two of the strongest men in wrestling. It's 1 and 1A.
Cover now. Can Cobb put him away? A count of one. What in the world? Moonsault by Cobb. Insanity on display.
Hammer nearly losing there. Cobb and all of his near 300 pounds caught every bit of that moonsault in the center of the ring. And now stalking Hammer on the outside.
You're right, partner, and call it instinct or luck for Hammerstone. He rolled to the outside, and Cobb right after him. Wants to keep the pedal to the metal offensively in this one. You can't give Hammerstone a breather.
I'll tell you what I'm offended by. You want to talk about offense? I'm offended by Jeff Cobb not playing by the rules here. He's supposed to wrestle in the center of the ring. Get your opponent back in there.
I believe it was Hammerstone that rolled out of harm's way after the
Tomato,
moonsault.
Todd. This is Jeff Cobb's fault.
Look at this now. Hammerstone elevates Cobb, drops him right across that guardrail, and as we saw in the battles with Brian Cage, Hammerstone, an expert at using his surroundings as a weapon, but we don't want to see a count out here.
Cobb ate all of that corner post as Hammer slides in and out, breaking the count.
Hawaiian might be on soft foods only after that, might have to eat some poi. Hammerstone again with the misdirection. He keeps his opponents off balance.
Love the psychological games of Hammerstone. If you ever heard one of his interviews, so compelling as a speaker when talking about his opponents.
It was a four-part series. Yeah, I've heard him.
You can find it at PCWUltra.com. And on the YouTube page, search PCW Ultra cover. Your boy Hammer, one of the more compelling competitors here in professional wrestling today.
Well, the way you talk about him, I think he's more your boy Hammer, but
he is my boy. I'm going to get an MBH shirt, my boy Hammer, and I'm going to be the only one who rocks it. And no, Todd, you can't have one. You're too dorky.
Man. We've seen the athleticism on display by both. You saw the drop kick earlier by Cobb, defeating gravity. And now Hammerstone minutes ago with a missile drop kick. And now a big drop kick, standing drop kick there by Hammerstone. Incredible vertical leap, and he's got a little something extra left.
Able to do that one-handed push-up. Hammer spends so much time in the gym, and it shows. People want to call him a douche or say that he's you know, all about himself, maybe a narcissist, a la Lex Luger. None of the guys that have preceded Alex Hammerstone are quite like him. He's a rare gem, and I look at him for inspiration. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, Hammerstone goes back upstairs. Well, it's been an inspiring meteoric rise for Hammerstone as of late, but man, look at the flexibility of Hammerstone coming right up the middle, and those clotheslines by Cobb, it's like you're getting hit by a tree trunk. Boy, something's got to give here. These two are trading like Wall Street, and Hammerstone succumbs to the big clothesline.
Jeff Cobb, though, out of breath. He looks gassed, Todd. Able to grab the rope, but no! Hammer still.
But adrenaline can do wonders now. The German suplex the other way. This is like watching a home run derby, and these two sluggers are swinging for the fences. Valkyrie missile, but not able to capitalize immediately, Christian.
Hammer dropped that Valkyrie missile. It landed right on the end of the kick, but Hammer exhausted in a ton of pain, and referee Austin Grimes now at a count of 3. Come on, get up, guys. We want to see a winner here.
Both men are up to their knees. That really should stop the count here, and it does. And who has that little something left in the tank? Who wants it more? Hammerstone keep this incredible streak going, or will Cobb put it to an end? This has been a spectacle, my friend.
It sure has. And out of the corner of my eye, I could see the legendary Hall of Famer, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, in his referee gear for our light heavyweight championship match. Look at Cobb here, cover. It has to feel like so much pressure to have a guy like that watching a match that you're in.
Incredible, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, you know, is going to have a big role later on in our light heavyweight title matchup, but giving all kinds of wisdom throughout the day to the competitors. Enziguri there by Hammerstone. You could hear it just echo off the walls of the Ultratorium. Exploder suplex. Hammerstone is doing his damnedest to beat Cobb at his own game.
And if Hammerstone can get this victory, what would it mean for his mission to become PCW Ultra Heavyweight Champion?
Hammerstone picking up the pace. He seems the fresher of the two at this point. Running knee, back elbow, another vicious strike. Just turning Cobb inside out. Cobb, though, counters. Look out here. Kaboom! Center of the ring. Cobb counters. Can he put him away? No. Talk about Steamboat. Boy, Steamboat, he had some battles with a powerful Hawaiian in his day. Big feud with Don Morocco. Remember that?
I do remember that. I was negative 12 years old, but that's okay. Look at Cobb now.
Oh my goodness, the power, incredible. Running power slam.
Notice the effortlessness by Jeff Cobb.
Well, not only that, notice that Hammerstone immediately works his way back to his feet, though. What's keeping these two up?
It's just instincts, Todd.
It's like those punching bags you had as a kid that you knock them down, they bounce right back up. These two are incredible. That missile right there was on the money.
Cobb now back up, though, but in a bad position. Front chancery by Hammer, and Hammer goes straight in.
Nightmare pendulum, he did it to Brody King, and he got him here. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the match, Hammerstone.
Hammerstone digs down deep. That's the second time in a row that he has executed that nightmare pendulum on an opponent that we didn't even know if he could execute it on. Incredible to take the big man up, Jeff Cobb, and put him down with the nightmare pendulum. The dream match turns into a nightmare for Cobb.
A nightmare for Cobb, a nightmare for anybody that wants to go up against Hammerstone.
Hammerstone and the baddest MFer in pro wrestling, Shaft, square off with the winner receiving a shot at the Ultra Championship at Anniversary 2020. This will actually be the third and decisive encounter between these two men. It all comes to a head tonight at Into the Void, 231 West C Street in Wilmington, California. Doors open at 7:30, bell time's at 8:30, but you don't want to miss a single second of Into the Void, so get there as soon as you can. If you are anywhere near Southern California, get down to the Ultratorium. There is no other experience like PCW Ultra Live. For our entire crew, this is Mike Simmons, and with the help of our partners at Defy Wrestling, we leave you this week looking at the history of a rivalry that has spanned the entire West Coast. We'll see you tonight.
PCW, are you kidding me? Hammerstone? Hammerstone?
What? He's the creamiest of them all, and he's back! Hammerstone is back!
Your boy Hammer is back, and things, they're about to change. There's these boys started calling themselves things like the new monster, the baddest
motherfucker in professional wrestling!
This guy's been trying to ride my coattails ever since I started making a name for myself. They got a whole bag of nicknames, but not a whole lot to back it up. I'm gonna expose you in the middle of that ring, show you are just a man, and I'm just a little bit better of a man. Starts calling me out on Twitter, starts doing this bullshit. Walks out halfway through a match with me. See, here's the truth, Shaq. I outsmarted you. I never intended to come and wrestle you. I intended to beat some respect into you. Next time, here at PCW Ultra, there ain't gonna be any security to pull us apart to save you. You want me at Hammerstone? Are you kidding me, PCW? Now I have to come back because now I got something personal to settle. And that something is you. That's what I have to say. One-on-one to finish what I just started. And believe me, your boy Hammer is gonna finish what he started.